Welcome everyone, my name is Vermillion.TheBlood. We are back with more Pokemon. How to be a Pokemon Master, you know? It's simple tier listing and everything for those that understand tiers and everything. Those that want to learn more about tiers. Those that want to be more competitive and they just want to know where some of their favorite Pokemon stand in the list itself. We are going to be not shopping at Best Buy, but underused Pokemon. We're going to go with underused Pokemon. Some of you are going to be like, Bill, what about Ubers? You skipped Ubers. Ubers is at the top of the list, at the top of the screen. Well, there's not much to really talk about Ubers, but we're going to talk about Ubers last. Since Ubers is at the top, we're going to talk about it last compared to the other ones. So, let's kick it off. We have underused Pokemon. Underused is a Smeargon's second usage base tier. All Pokemon that are not OU by usage are not banned to Ubers or Borderline, but can be used in UU, including Pokemon from RU and never used, which is rarely used for those that don't understand the lingo. While any of the formidable Pokemon can be used in UU, only those Pokemon that make up at least 41% of the total weight usage in the tier are designed UU. A Pokemon is truly UU if its typically competitive player is more than 50% likely to encounter that Pokemon at least once in a given day of playing 20 battles. If you don't understand that, basically you always have maybe one or two Pokemon that are OU, and then the rest of your team is like UU. That's just it. Like something about that Pokemon, you see it a lot, but you don't see it a lot compared to overused Pokemon. Even though UU make up your whole team in some ways, it's not the whole thing. And that's my bad. My chair is squeaky as bad, man. You know. So, with this, we got simple things and items that you would not see in a UU tier. So, just the regular Pokemon itself that make it UU. And 9 times out of 10, if it's UU, it's fragile in some ways. But there are Megas in UU. Like, you have Mega Absol, you got Mega Aerodactyl, Mega Aggron, Mega Ampharos, Mega Beedrill, Mega Blastoise. What else is Mega? Mega Sceptile, Mega Sharpedo, Mega Swampert. Like, there's very good Megas. There are decent Megas in the UU tier. But, as we all know, Mega Absol is, if you do not use Sucker Punch, or your opponent's doing some pretty bad reading when it comes to you bringing it out, because he probably never battled it before, which is highly unlikely, but you never know. It's fragile. It's very, very fragile. I can't see it taking too many hits. So, as you know, Jolly, Adamant, Sword Dance, Knockoff, Sucker Punch, Play Rough, Superpower. This is the basic set when it comes to Absol, but it changes. If you do not want to take a super drop from a superpower when it comes to attack and defenses, because it's already a fragile Pokemon as it is, then Play Rough comes in handy, or X Scissors. There's also other moves that you can replace just as well. But as I said before, when it comes to Pokemon that are not Uber, and they're like UU and under, like OU and under and everything, and as we're on UU right now, it depends on the Pokemon moveset. As you see, this is the basic set when it comes to an Absol, but in UU form, it can also be RU as well, depending on the sets that have been thrown on it. So, you got Knockoff, Sucker Punch, Superpower, Fire Blast, which is a mixed set, Pursue to trap, Super Lucky, Iron Tail, Play Rough, just in case. If you don't want to use Pursue, just in case if you're the chances of you actually making a right read or anything like that. Iron Tail works just as well, or Play Rough. Mixed set, Fire Blast to deal with threats as I can't say its special attack is alright compared to its attack stats, but it's not bad when it Mega Evolves, so you can do mix sets. Plus, if you do not want to take the drop from the superpower, there you go, you know, but pretty much standard sets. Not really too much with the knockoff. You can always replace that, but you know, actually I've never seen that item used on Avatar before, so rarely used sets, you know. So let's go back. Rarely used sets. But as I said before, it depends on the Pokemon itself when it drops. Some of y'all favorites. Now you have Infernape, and with Infernape, which has very good speed and special attack, balanced special attack, mind you, with its other attack. But defense, actually, it's pretty well. It's kind of balanced and very fast. I'll give you that. But you got Nasty Plot, Fire Blast, Close Combat, Vacuum Wave. You can switch it up. If you don't want it to be a mix set, because this makes it a mix set, Vacuum Wave, just replace it. And Nasty Plot, maybe 2 Nasty Plots, never mind, with Life Orb, and always going first. Vacuum Wave should really do something. It has potential sweeping, and with a native nature and the right investments, and its balanced stats as it is, but more investments into its speed, it makes a very good UU set, and that tier itself. But as we all know, some of us like physical attacks as it is with that hasty nature. You got Fire Blast, Flare Blitz. You're gonna be using Flare Blitz, believe me. I don't know about Knock. I don't know about Grass Knock. Just in case if you run into like maybe a ground type, maybe. But Mach Punch would definitely be going here, cause I think Croconaut. Let me look. Where are you? I think you're common here. I'm not too sure. No, you're not. Oh, yes, you are. I was right. So, Mach Punch. You would definitely be running Mach Punch. And before we go back, I know I got a little sidetracked with that. Good special attack. Speed is not too great, but it can work. It has potential to outspeed Choice Bandit, but 9 times out of 10, you're going to be Scarf, because you already have good attack. And with Moxie, all you have to do is all you gotta do is keep knocking things off, and it does the work for you. Non-choice attacker. You don't see this too often. With a Jolly Nature, putting investments into its speed and attack. Okay. Like I said, you don't really see that too much. I guess that's what makes it UU. I never really know what this thing is going to do, to be honest with you. But I know it's either Intimidate or Moxie. So, whenever I see one in battle, I know what its ability might be. But items and movesets and everything, I never truly know. And like I said before, Choice Scarf. This set does wonders for many people. So I advise y'all to use it if y'all like using this Pokemon in battle. This is more like a rarely used set, because you don't really see it to use. Pursue Trapper, you know. The items itself, just in case if you don't want to use Choice Scarf, because Choice Scarf just gives it a little bit more power. And Life Orb, since you probably don't want to take the drop, you'll probably be using one of these two. But like I said, it's fragile in itself. 95 HP don't really do it too much justice, unless you're trying to put investments into the HP, which is not really worth it, as its attack and its speed is where it needs it the most for it to be a sweeper, as we all know it can be, especially in the tier that it is. But before I got sidetracked, we were looking at Infernape, and we were talking about moving up in the tier, because as I said before, movesets matter the most. If a Pokemon does not have that game playing strategy and its move sets when you're facing a higher tier than the tier that it's already put into, it doesn't do any justice. But when it does, it can go up in tiers. It can definitely go up in tiers. And as I said before, that's new to me. That is new to me. Gunk Shot, I guess, for fairy type, since you are a fighting type. Yeah, you're fighting type before you're fire. So Gunk Shot, which I didn't even know you can learn Gunk Shot. Close combat, Flare Blitz over the Fire Blast, but native nature, so you're getting more into the special attack. But it's a mixed tier kind of nature, so it doesn't really matter. Grass Knot, unless you want to deal with like threats like any water types or Mega Mosh Stomp or Swampert. Well, I say Mosh Stomp, my bad. Mega Swampert, my bad. There you go. You can definitely deal with Swampert with Grass Knot. Ice Fang, and I mean not Ice Fang, but Hidden Power Ice, yeah, not too much. And the slip of my tongue, my bad if I'm mixing things up, you know, I'm just trying to provide y'all with a little more insight than what y'all already knew within the tier itself. Like even Tornadoes, like Tornadoes is UU. Its Theirs form, I'm not too sure on. Oh, you're OU. No wonder. That speed and your special attack does you very much justice. And Regenerator is a token when it comes to it. But Tornadoes is not a pushover even when it's not in its Theirs form. Even if it is UU. Prankster comes in handy when it comes to Taunt, Tailwind. This is all out special attacker. I don't know why they put Heat Wave twice. Keep in mind, the people who make these sets are just as normal as y'all when y'all make sets. So, they're just looking out for all the threats that you probably have to watch out. Like, Hurricane does a lot of damage to Beedrill since it's in this tier. Mega. And that's my phone. I don't know why my phone is making noises. My alarm is going off. Timid Nature to boost all your special attacks, because Timid Nature is where it's at when it comes to special attackers. But Modest Nature does some work as well. With Prankster though, you can get off Taunt and Tailwind pretty well. So, it is what it is. Then, you got the Macho set that everybody that I've seen so far when it comes with Tornadoes puts in work. You got Bulk Up, the Bulk Up set. Bulk Up, Acrobatics, Rest, Knockoff, Sleep Talk. Screw all the nonsense. Don't put Knockoff. Sleep Talk. But then again, Chestoberry comes in handy to wake you up. But Sleep Talk does you some justice, as Bulk Up does wonders for your your defense and your attack. Acrobatics puts in work after this is gone from a rest. But you can keep Knockoff before you use the rest, you know. So Bulk Up do massive damage with the Knockoff. Jolly Nature, so you can boost. And being Prankster as it is, you can get off a rest and a Sleep Talk. You always go first. Defiant Attacker. I do not see this set being used at all, because as you can see, there's no items, because Acrobatics does all the work without an item being there. Knockoff, well, there you go. Superpower, U-turn, Iron Tail. I don't understand the Iron Tail too much. It says to deal with Mega Aerodactyl, but you never know. I don't know. So, I would probably put U-turn here since it has no items, so it has no chances of, like, it doesn't have chances of really surviving. When you don't have an item on your Pokemon, the chances of it surviving kind of just diminishes in a way. And that was my recording equipment, making sure I was recording. And then we got Stalbrion, as I like to call it, sitting in the UU tier, but still puts in more work than half its brothers and sisters of its evolutionary form from its given mother form, which is Eevee. You got special defense off the charts compared to defense, which is why some people focus on the defense, but you never know. We always have special attackers. Speed is garbage, special attack is garbage, but we're going to explain why that can always be overlooked when it comes to double battles at some point, as I've seen, witnessed, and used myself some sets. So Wish Passer, Wish, Protect, Moonlight, Heal Bell, Baton Pass, Foul Play. As we should all know, Heal Bell for the whole team. And since you have Synchronized, all you're doing, if someone puts a status condition on you, you pass it back off, you know? And Heal Bell, you get rid of it off of you, you know? And Moonlight, Protect, one of the two. Well, if this is going to be a Wish Passer, you gotta have Protect. And I'm going to tell you why you have to have Protect. There is no reason for you to use Wish and you don't have something to protect you. What if your opponent KOs you and your Wish user is gone now, and you bring in a Pokemon that has full health? Like say Umbreon was your first Pokemon. No, that's a terrible example. Say you need a Wish, but you also would like to have your Wish user. Why would you take the risk of not having Protect on it after you use Wish when your opponent has a chance of maybe putting damage on it or taking it out? You never know. You never know. Foul Play does you more justice, as there's a chance your opponent may be trying to stall with not stall, my bad. Trying to get its stats up. So Foul Play does all the work, as there is no real other set, but I know some double battle sets, and maybe I'll probably give those away at some point, but we'll see where it goes. And Snorlax. Keep in mind, we're just simply talking about the UU tier in itself. We're not really trying to go in depth too far, but to those that are learning and those that are already know, y'all should know the movesets matter the most. Your Pokemon would not be where it's at in its tier due to what it can learn and due to what it doesn't learn that would be helpful for it, and due to what kind of sets you make for it that puts it either in threatening situations towards maybe speed or special defense or defense during the threats of the higher tiers that you're trying to put it in. So it depends on where your Pokemon really is being used the most, and really what kind of sets can you give it for it to survive, for it to keep being used like you want to be used. Like, most of us have favorite Pokemon, and some of those favorite Pokemon are in the lower tier, or maybe in the tier that we're messing with right now. But in the comment section, if you have any disagreements or anything, that's the place y'all can always tell me what's up. So Curse lacks, Curse, Return, Body Slam. Body Slam is more used in Return as it has a chance of paralyzing, so I would use it. Rest and Sleep Talk. Keep the Sleep Talk. Now, if you run into any ghost types, you are screwed. Y'all should already know. Body Slam cannot do you any justice. And Earthquake can only hit ground types. So having Earthquake instead of Body Slam. Plus, it doesn't even get stabbed. So Body Slam is always there. Always there. And Curse, all you gotta do is just keep on bulking up. And there you go. Thick Fat speaks for itself. with the Ice and Fire. Then you got Choice Bandit, Return, Facade, Earthquake, Fire Punch, Pursue. You know, for ghost types. I probably would use Pursue, but you know, never know. You might run into a bug or grass type, so Fire Punch comes in handy. I find Fire Punch more over Pursue, but Pursue just in case if you know what you're going to be running into. Facade speaks for itself, plus with Choice Bandit, it does more damage, and it gets stabbed when someone tries to put. So, it's like the bittersweet of, oh, you got a status condition off of me? Well, guess what? You're about to be blown back. It gets stabbed, it does more damage, and it does more damage. So, it is what it is. And we're going to go back, and we're going to talk about maybe one more. And there we go. One of my favorites. And it's in the UU tier. As I said before, man, like, some of our favorite Pokemon are really in the UU tier. Even though they make up half our team, they're in the UU tier. Because, you know, they can't really take attacks too well. So can't really survive matches too well. So with 81 HP and 102 in attack, very good. But with some good old investments and everything, its special attacks can be off the rip, along with its speed, as it's very fast, can be. And defenses, ew, kind of gross compared to special defense. But you know how it goes, and we'll probably talk about the Nidoqueen counterpart as that. And with Sheer Force, you change your position from UU to OU. When it comes to me thinking about it, because if without Sheer Force, you would just remain UU. Because Rivalry don't really do too much with you, and Poison Point may have a chance of poisoning due to Nidoking doing the attacking. But Steel types can't be poisoned, and neither can Poison types. So there's no need to try to hope for that. So Wall Breaker, Sludge Wave, Earth Power, Ice Beam, Super Power, Stealth Rocks. As y'all should know, Modest Nature hits like a truck. Timid Nature outspeeds Modern Nature, and Native allows this mix set to be run with the almighty power that we all know can happen. And within its own tier, Superpower can annihilate Umbreon, which is the thing I was just saying not too long ago. And look right here, unfortunately Nidoking hits a poor speed tier, making it easily revenge kill, which is very true. It's too fragile, way too fragile in itself. But moving up in the tier to become UU, as you do see it used quite frankly. Earth Power, Sludge Wave, Ice Beam, Flamethrower, Timid Nature off the rip with Sheer Force. As I was saying before, without this ability, you would not be UU. No one would want to use you too much. So, even though you can keep the title of UU in the tier itself, you have potential of being OU in itself. It's all about your potential and your ability. So, there you go. And let's talk about Nidoqueen, the female counterpart. And then we'll talk about one more Pokemon, which will probably be Hydreigon, because everyone uses Hydreigon. There's really no reason to even talk about Florges, even though it's in the UU tier. It's just a very special tank. Once again, Sheer Force, which I still think, even though people use Nidoking more than Nidoqueen, Nidoqueen has potential of being a special attacker as well. You just don't see it too much. But Nidoqueen has its moments. But staying in the UU tier, as you are fragile with being grounded poison, you have Earth Power, Ice Beam, Stealth Rock, Sludge Wave, Toxic, Thunderbolt. As I did not know that Toxic Spike was a thing. So, there you go. But you have a chance of using Stealth Rocks, which does pretty much residual damage. And with the modest nature and sheer force without the life, with the life orb in itself, you're a little bit slower than a timid user, a timid nature, but you can still hit like a truck with Sludge Bait and Thunderbolt and the other moves. And then you got defensive. Stealth Rock, Toxic Spike, Roar, Ice Beam, Flamethrower speaks for itself. With Black Sludge, Bold Nature. I don't know how well. I don't really know how well that would work, but seeing as it's already here, it is what it is, you know? And Earthquake can be used over Earth Power with a relaxed nature to Oko Mega Beedrill. So someone's been doing damage coax when it comes to these sets. As Bold Nature is just the defensive side to throw up all your hazards and everything, but still be able to, you know, dish out the heat, as Needle Queen can put in the work compared to Needle King. And one more as we talk about one of our favorites in a tier, because it gains a spot in OU, because that's just the thing when I wanted to talk about with you guys as well. Even though we're going to go bits and pieces of in the tier, because next time it's going to be rarely used or never used. No, it's probably going to be rarely used next as we talk about in these videos. And I want you guys to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Make sure that we break the like goal of over 10 likes with these videos, as I teach you a little bit more, you know. But as I was saying before, depending on the moveset, that depends on the usage in its tier, but also the usage in it become moving into a higher tier because of its sets, you know. That's about it. So with an outstanding 25 special attack and a good attack of 105, HP is not bad, but not too good, and speed can always be boosted along with everything else. But compared to being a very good special attacker and with Levitate, due to just being a dark and dragon type, even though you have wings, Hydreigon does what it does best as Wall Breaker. Draco Meteor hits like a truck with the timid nature and Life Orb or Choice Specs. Dark Pulse speaks for itself, as you can get some hacks value out of it with the flinch and at least two hit KOing most opponents. Super powered, as this is going to be a mix set or Fire Blast, but I prefer Fire Blast. Super power unless you're running a mix set. I'm not really going to mess with it. Roost to at least keep alive due to the damage you're going to be taking from the Life Orb, and I'm assuming hits that your opponent are going to be doing to you if you do not Oko. And Iron Tail, which speaks for itself with the hasty nature, as this mix set moving Roost out of there can deal with Sphere types and anything else being a wall breaker, as it says. Choice Scarf, which I see very often, which is why it's very OU than anything. You got Draco Meteor, Dark Pulse, Dragon Pulse, U-Turn. I'm thinking Fire Blast. Stall Breaker, Taunt Roost, which I've never seen this kind of set. I didn't even know it. Taunt Roost, Dark Pulse, Dragon. I'm thinking Dragon Pulse, because you don't want to take the drop when you're hoping for at least a flinch. You're at least hoping for a flinch, and the timid nature of at least Okoing most opponents with the Dark Pulse. Roost to stay alive, and Taunt to make sure nobody is dropping hazards or setting up on you. Because Hydreigon can do the most when the opponent is not dropping attack investment moves into it, which I mean by that is boosting its stats. And the reason it speaks for itself the most, because it's ORU in itself, due to the movesets that it's using. Drake or Meteor, because it's going to hit like a truck by its nature. Flash Cannon, definitely. You won't be using Roost, I'll tell you that right now. Dark Pulse, Fire Blast. Common set. Earth Power, yep, pretty much. But with this, I want to thank you all for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel as we make it to 300 subs, while also smashing the like button, as your support means the most. I want to thank you all for watching. Make sure we break the like goal of over 10 likes on the video, and with that, we will be back with rarely used Pokemon, and then we'll move on to never used, and then we will move on to the other ones, and then after that, I will explain my reasoning for why Ubers were last, but Ubers will be exciting. I know it is, because there's thousands of reasons why people would say what I'm about to say about Ubers. But with that, stay tuned for more how to be a Pokemon Master as y'all learn more within the tier, but also make sure your movesets mean the most. So whatever moveset that you're using, make sure it can deal with threats, and make sure your team can support its sets. So with that, I want